Welcome everybody to Best Conversations Podcast. I am your host, Kayvon McKinnon. You know, this is what we do, a deeper conversation. And you see we in a different location, so you know we got to have a really special guest. Before we do anything, make sure y'all subscribe, make sure you comment, make sure you always share this, because we always want to give back and give to the people great content. So let's get to today's guest. Today is a special guest. We're talking about purpose, finding your purpose. And today's guest definitely found his purpose and definitely is very inspirational for me and definitely everybody that looks like me. Today's guest served over 20 years at the Apex Police Force, also lived here. One thing about being a mayor, you know, it's one thing to be a mayor from a different place, but to put soil on the ground and actually be here is even amazing. Today's person I'm interviewing is no other than Mr. Jacques Gilbert.
All right.
How you doing?
My man, how you doing, Kayvon? Good to be here.
Nice
Good
to
to
meet
be
you,
here,
sir.
big guy.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Have a seat. Have a seat.
right,
have a seat.
man.
Have a
Okay.
seat. Well. How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. It's a beautiful day. I made it on Best Conversations, man.
Yes,
how about
sir.
that? Yes, sir.
You did. Man, I'm not a politician or anything like that, but you know, when I first ran across you, I was just inspired, like, wow, a black man.
Yes, sir.
That's a mayor. You know what I mean? It just immediately I had to talk to you. Immediately I had to know what's your story. And I'm glad that we got some time today that we can sit down and discuss and get to know you and your story and your journey. So I like to kick this off the same way. Are you living or are you surviving?
Oh, man, powerful. Am I living or surviving?
Mm-hmm.
If you would ask me that question back in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I would probably say I'm surviving. Today, I'm living. And
Mm-hmm.
here's why. I want to go back, and when you talk about purpose and also surviving, so born and raised here in Apex.
Yes.
And growing up here, it was quite different than it is now. But I grew up in the projects, and one of the things I really thought I was headed toward was to get out of the projects through the game of basketball, the game that I love, until I was cut from tryouts. And the coach says, you know, Jacques, you're an amazing basketball player, but you're just not good enough for my team. So that really knocked me out mentally.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to figure out my next steps. There were two things in life I said I would never do. One, become a police officer. The second thing, become a politician. And here we are today. So, you know, it was definitely survival back then when I was growing up. And then the reason I said 2020, when I got elected in 2019, I transitioned right into the role, and COVID hit. So that was a survival thing for sure, because we were kind of navigating against the unknown.
Yeah.
So, but today, I'm living the dream. It's
dream.
great. I love it. I love serving the people.
Absolutely. Here in Apex, man, they say the peak of life, or it's like rated one of the top cities, towns. Is it still a town or a city? Because, man, y'all expanding so crazy.
Hey, Kayvon, we got to keep it a town. We're never going to be a city. And as long as I'm in the seat, we got to keep that small town character. But yes, we're a town. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the most beautiful towns in North Carolina. Jacques, I actually used to work for FedEx, and Apex was my delivery area.
Oh, man.
Was my delivery area. So just like you, I watched this town become, before the skate parks, before the rinks, and also I watched it, man, and I always said, man, this is such a beautiful, beautiful place, man. Let's start at the beginning of your journey. Like you said, you was born here in Apex. How important was for you to, you know, to be here and watch it grow into what it is now?
Yes. So going back to what I said, growing up in the projects, 600 First Street, it was quite challenging because there was a lot of things going on, if you know what I mean.
Yes, sir.
Things that I observed and family members involved in that. And I just said, I don't want to do that. Totally not my lifestyle. But then becoming a police officer, it was, okay, I'm in a small town, policing in my hometown. And by the way, the people from my hood said,
speak to that challenge.
Okay,
like
yes.
Policing in your own place, because
right.
people think that you can't write them a ticket. Oh, that's my homeboy. That's my homeboy. You can't write me a ticket. You know what I mean? Was that tough, policing in your own community?
You already know.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah.
And, it took about 10 years. And then it shifted. It was like, hey, you have to prove yourself. Because, I received threats, death threats, like, hey, we're going to make sure you don't survive in this town, because this is not the job you should be doing, because we don't become police officers. But no one could really answer the question, why not me? And I got asked a question one time by a friend who really inspired me to go into law enforcement. And he said, have you ever had an interaction with a police officer? And I said, no. He said, well, why would you not consider it? So that really resonated with me. It changed my whole direction of my course. And then I said, I'm going to do it. So it took about 10 years for people to kind of say, you know what, he's our guy. We're going to embrace him. He's our community hero. And then here we are.
Like I said, we were talking about purpose.
Yes.
You worked here in Apex. Your first job out of high school, you was reading water meters,
Wow.
which seems like a great, respectable career.
Yeah.
But your purpose led you to realize that you wanted more. Expound. Why did you feel like you wanted more?
Well, I think it's just that. There was really no hunger. There was really no passion in reading water meters. And by the way, we need water meter readers, obviously. But it just wasn't for me. It wasn't anything that I felt like I was being drawn to, really pulled and say, okay, I'm really here to serve in this assignment. It was only until my friend said, hey, consider policing. And then once I researched it, I put myself through school, paid my own way. And as soon as I got sworn in, I knew it was for me. I just knew it. It just felt right. And then just to be able to, as I moved on, go from call to call and help people. And I go back to your question, like the small town Apex, when I started policing until now, it's certainly changed, but my original thought was I was going to work for the town of Apex for 2 years and transition to the highway patrol. But I really didn't have a clear, defined reason why I wanted to go to highway patrol, except they had cool hats and sharp uniforms. So, but this sergeant said, have you thought about the projected growth of Apex? Why not stay here and grow with it?
Yeah.
And I bought into it, and here we are.
Easy, simple question.
Yeah.
What does a mayor do? What are the responsibilities of a mayor? I grew up in a small town in North Carolina. I know you never heard of it. It's called Wagram, North Carolina.
Wagram, what is that near?
That's near Laurinburg, North Carolina.
Okay, I'm familiar with Laurinburg.
And so I was very familiar with our mayor. He actually worked a regular 9-to-5 job, but he was the mayor as well. And my mom used to always laugh, like, he's only a mayor because nobody would run against him. And so, but back to the question, what are some of the responsibilities as the mayor of a town?
Yeah. Well, the first thing I'll say is the mayor should be the person for the people. And what I mean by that is I always look back and say, okay, why am I here? I was elected. People trusted me that hey, we're going to put this young man in office because he's going to be our advocate. He's going to represent us. So I see myself as a representative, advocate, and also being willing to go the extra mile and pulling things together. What I mean by that is people come to the mayor's office for many things. On one side of the coin is, hey, I have all these resources. Can you help me get these resources to people in need? And then there's the other side, people in need that need the resources. So I see myself as a bridge builder and bringing us all together. Also looking at projected growth, plans, leading those plans, and but really all together just showing that spirit of community. And that's what I do. And I also get to walk around with gold boots on.
Apex is a very diverse city. How do you make sure you maintain both sides, keeping both people happy, both communities rather happy?
Yeah.
Not just two communities, but everybody happy. Because, some might say, hey, you only cater to this community, and some might say you only might cater to that community. So how do you keep everybody happy.
Well, you're there to serve every individual that resides in the town of Apex. And I think I was set up nicely from the position of police officer. When I took the call, I never typed in my computer, what does this person look like? What's their background? What is their political affiliation? I just go serve. I go take care of that. And so I look at the mayor's office the exact same way. We have a very diverse community, as you mentioned. It wasn't like that before, but I'm happy to see it.
Yes.
And I think the AAPI community is the fastest growing community that we have here in the town now. Rapidly growth,
Yes.
okay, in that area. But for me, I think people will clearly say, I'm just a man of all the people. I just want to see everyone thrive, and that's what we do. So I hope that's not a concern by individuals in our town, because to me, again, it's about meeting people where they are, and I'm here to make sure that that individual sees Apex as their home, and we provide them what they need to thrive.
What made you want to get into politics?
Again, I go back to what I said. I never thought I would be here talking to you right now as a mayor. For me, I was trying to figure out my next step after retiring from Apex Police with 29 years, and I just knew I wanted to stay here and continue to serve. And I just didn't know what that looked like. So I'm sitting in what is called the annual Mayor's State of the Town, which is done every year in January. So I was at that event right after retirement, and that mayor was speaking, and I just felt and heard the voice, "Why not you?" And I said, no, I can't do that job, man. I don't have any political background, no experience in it. Again, why not you? And it was when I went home and talked to my family, my daughter, and it just, we prayed about it, and the rest is history. So I just saw myself as being in there, being more of an advocate for the people. And then I'm retired. So you mentioned the other mayor that had a full-time job. I'm retired, so I can give it more time, give it more energy, give it more passion, and really help more people, because I don't have to rely on a full-time job. So that makes me more accessible, which is something I was striving for.
Absolutely. Do you have any plans maybe to go and higher up in office one day?
Yeah, I will never rule anything out.
Okay.
Yeah, but right now, Apex, I'm loving it here.
Yes.
I love serving in my hometown.
Yeah, it's such a great place, man. I take my kids over to the skate park, and man, we have a time. We'll be over there for hours, and recently you had like a festival like around fall time recently. Man, we had such a great time, and man, Apex is such a beautiful place. It's a nice little suburb outside of the hustle and bustle in Raleigh. What was like some of your first ambitions? Like, you said you wanted to play basketball. Why you didn't go to college and play?
Well, I didn't make the high school team.
You didn't make the high school team.
I didn't make the high school team. So I really thought I was that guy. I played recreation basketball. Felt like I had a pretty good game.
Yeah.
So I waited till my senior year to try out, and I made it to the final cut.
Okay.
And then
man, that story.
Yeah. So, but it was then I was like, man, what am I going to do? And it was really, I didn't have the confidence to do anything else. I was a very shy guy back in the day. I didn't speak much. And I just felt like, doing the policing would also help me in many areas as such, and take me out of my comfort zone and experience challenges that's going to help me grow. And I would say being a elected leader is much of the same.
What was Apex like in those days in the 80s? Because I read I seen an article where you didn't learn how to swim until you was in your 50s. And you said that back then you wasn't able to go swimming because they wouldn't let blacks swim in those pools. So what was Apex like back then? In those days?
It was interesting question for sure. Let me give you a visual. So Highway 55, okay, you have Tap Station on one side, the restaurant used to be Houghton Sons Auto.
Yes.
And then on the other side was the historic black community. So 55 was, I don't think it was intentional, but it became a dividing line. So that's what it was. You had the black community over here and then everyone else on the other side of 55. So that's what I grew up. And as we all know, underserved communities don't have access to water play. Okay, there's a data point that really illustrates that. And so growing up here, and then being, of course, growing up in the projects, my parents couldn't afford to send us anywhere. Pulling Park was a place in Raleigh that most people went, but we couldn't afford to go there either. So the only place in town was you had to have a membership only.
Yeah.
It was for members only, I would say. And but no one that looked like me could go to that location. So we didn't have access.
Yeah.
And that's what took so long.
Yeah. You did something great where you teamed up with a young lady and you was helping underprivileged children, get there. When you learned how to swim, you was, was other children also learning how to swim, and that was pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, learning how to swim at such older age, I must say. How was that experience like, and also bringing in those children that's from underprivileged to actually learn how to swim as well?
Wow, that's good. Well, I think we can all relate to this. You and I can, we're just one step away from breaking a fear to be able to accomplish something, right?
Yes.
Something that limits us, hold us back. And for years and years and years, because I didn't have access to water, I also had my mother in my ear saying, "You're not going to go swimming because you can drown."
Yeah.
So that was always that fear. If I get in the water, it's going to happen. So I had to break through that. So being in a position to be able to share with young girls and young boys, no, you can do it. You just got to break through that, your comfort zone, and it can be done. Challenge your fear and get over it. So that's what I want to continue to do for others.
Absolutely. In this day and age, I feel like all over this country, it's just been rapid with car break-ins, home break-ins, and things of that nature. What are you doing as the mayor to enforce that your community stays as safe as possible? Because nobody wants to come out to their car and see somebody has rambled through their car and did all that. And it seems like it's just got worse. Not just in Apex anywhere, but everywhere. Even over in Raleigh where I live, but as the mayor, what type of tactics are you doing to enforce that, that this town stays safe?
Yeah, isn't it great that you have a mayor here that has always also been a police officer? So people trust me, and what I tell them is the right thing to do. I'll start out by saying this: most of the crimes that occur it's a crime of opportunity for that person who's committing the crime. So you're either a hard target or a soft target. And what I mean by that, being a soft target, my question is this: have you locked your car doors? My encouragement is this: lock your car doors. And most crimes that take place with that, breaking into cars, it's just a simple, the suspect says, I'm going to lift the door handle, and if it's open, I'm going in. If it's not, I move to the next one.
Yes.
So that is what I'm encouraging people to do, just lock your doors.
Lock your doors.
And the police department, they drive messages like that, the 9 o'clock lock your door routine and things like that. But I think we kind of get a little comfortable because we do have a great quality of life here, but we also have to understand reality. Crime does occur, and it's up to us to be preventive, right? And have those good crime prevention techniques and actually exercise those to make us safer, keep us safe.
Absolutely. As somebody that served on the police force, what do you say your message to your officers, about, maybe, as a black man, we get pulled over, sometimes, we get a little fearful because, the things we have seen before. What's your message to your officers, or what was your approach rather when pulling over somebody, making sure something doesn't go too far, doesn't escalate too bad?
Yeah, it starts with, Kayvon, it starts with the heart for people. And as long as you look at that person and say, they're human, and I'm no different than they are. I don't elevate myself above any man.
Yes.
I say you're going to be fine, okay? And you're here to serve them. It's not the other way around. You're there to serve them. Everyone does not deserve a ticket. Everyone does not deserve to be locked up.
Yes.
It is about every situation and then you determine what is the best next step to make this a great outcome for all involved. George Floyd changed a lot for policing.
Absolutely.
If you can find good out of something that occurred bad, I think we have taken steps forward in policing with regard to ensuring that we treat every individual with dignity and respect. And there's still more work to do, but that really opened eyes and pushed real change. And so getting out of the vehicle, getting to know people before it reaches that level, is how we pull ourselves out of it. Like, if we continue to be disconnected, we're the police, you're the community, it never works. So police are meant to get out of the car, walk around, create those relationships. And you should know people in your beat and again, cultivate those relationships, and then you have favorable outcomes. So that's my message that's what I always drove, with young rookies, to say, hey, this is how you do it. Get out of the car, meet people, and have the heart for people, and you will be fine.
And on the other side, on the flip side, we both have sons.
That's right.
What do you tell your son if if he gets pulled over? What's that procedure like? What should he do outside? Keep your hands on the steering wheel,
right.
of course, or whatever. But on the other side, what do you tell your son? To make this procedure, what will you tell your son to make this procedure go by as smooth as possible?
Absolutely, that's a very good question. And first of all, he shows his mayor card. He has a mayor card. I'm just kidding. The mayor's son card. I'm just kidding. He don't have one of those. But no, it's what all seriousness, I tell him, you have to stay alive. Okay, and I'm not saying this to set up like all police are bad. That's not it. I was a police officer, so my point is, okay, comply first, complain later. So if you have an officer that is not treating you with dignity and respect, the best thing is to get through that situation, okay? And you want to keep your hands on the steering wheel and get through that traffic stop. We can deal with it after the fact, but just do your part that way, because we don't want to see anything just go south. I would say this, man. The fact that police officers get themselves in situations is really small percentage of police officers are not doing it right. I truly believe that. I think for the most, we have great police officers that have the heart for people that are doing it right. It's I would say the knuckleheads, okay, that they probably shouldn't be in the profession. They make that judgment call that is not proper, and it makes all police officers look bad. And then we paint every police officer with a broad brush, and they're not. So there needs to be more training, obviously, and every police officer needs to look at it, just to your point about we both have sons.
Yeah.
What if that was my son?
Yeah.
How would I want him to be treated? Or my mother or brother, sister. That's what I always share with my trainees when I had them in the field training officer program.
So you've been at this job a while now. What advice do you have for future politicians or that's trying to do what you do?
Yeah, easy. Visiting a barbershop in November, just every 4 years, is not a true person to serve. You know where I'm going with that, right? Yeah. Or seeing you knock on my door every 4 years and I don't see you again is not what the people need. So my encouragement is, every Friday I leave my office and I go knock on 20 doors.
Wow.
Yeah, every Friday.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Because I want the people to know this isn't for show. I really want to know what you think. I'm here to represent you. I created a new app, that people can download and they can go direct with me. So my thing is be accessible to the people. And then the final thing is this: don't change who you are. The people elected you for the person you were back in November. Don't get in office and change and morph to another individual.
What type of relationship do you feel like do you have with the people? Do you just said you feel like you're very that they can touch you. But do you feel like people kind of too much power? Like you ever feel like you just want to take a step back from all this a little bit sometimes? like hey man, I can't do that for you, man. Like is it?
I tell you, I've never really had that challenge, that particular challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me is sometimes I feel like I haven't done enough.
Really?
Because that's just my heart for people.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm really pressing in. I'm like, we got to find a way. And it works most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's a few times where it just doesn't all come together. So you kind of feel a little, defeated.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously you stand back up and you keep walking and try to help the next individual. But I've never been placed in those situations like, hey, because I'm very direct with people.
Yeah.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that for you. But here's what I can do. Yeah.
Here's an argument that if I lived here in this community, hey Jacques, hey man, you got a skate park, man, but man, can we get a few of them basketball hoops up in downtown too?
Yeah.
What do you say? What do you say to
100%, we can do it. But here's what I need from you. I need for you to come alongside, and I need for you to be the advocate for the community, and we do it together.
Mm-hmm.
Because although I'm your representative, hey, it's other people that make those decisions. So there's
Mm-hmm.
not just the mayor, there's 5 other decision makers on
Mm-hmm.
council. So it would be dynamic to show even more of a need, okay, more passion from the community member, and it gets all of us on board.
Mm-hmm.
So it is not, so I don't run the town, we run the town. You know what I'm saying? So I'm committed to the community, we run the town, so be a part of the problem solving process is what I share with people.
You just recently just opened up a hockey rink right here in Apex as well, man. Was you always a hockey fan, or what made you want to open up the rink down here?
Man, that was a blessed opportunity for the town. We got lucky. The Carolina Hurricanes, they were looking for an opportunity. They have an NHL fund where they come in and they try to plant resources to where more kids can have access to the game of hockey. Whether it's mobility or whether it's just a financial burden, let's join with the municipality partnership and let's do it. So they chose Apex. Then we had the right person on our Parks Rec and Cultural Resources Advisory Board, and it all just came together.
Yeah.
And so, of course, we have a very growing hockey fan community.
Yes.
Apex, I think we got some really loyal fans. So it all just worked out, Kayvon. It just worked out to where we had the land, okay? It was a multi-purpose field. We simply transformed it. We put our financial resources into it. They put their $500,000, put it together, and now we have 2 dynamic hockey rinks, street hockey rinks, and it stays packed all the time. Very much like when the skate park came to life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. What do you say to people who, the homeowners right now, buying a home right now it's just so crazy. But what do you say to the people that's trying to buy here in Apex, the first time home buyers and things like that? What advice do you give to them if they feel like, it's getting too overpriced and stuff like that?
I tell you what, we're in a very difficult time right now, and I really wish I had a one response solution. And if any politician says, "Hey, I have the plan," this right here will pull us out of the whole, financial crisis with regard to, home buying, I would say run, because there's so many variables, and I look at Apex, the quality of life that we enjoy, and the reason home prices are elevated is because everybody wants to be here.
Everybody wants.
So it's kind of like a blessing and it's a curse. I think our way out of it completely, if you want to look at economics, is supply and demand. And until we can get more supply, more houses on the ground, it's not going to work. We got to make that happen first, because right now there's not enough houses to go around. People want to be here, so the demand is higher, which drives up the cost. I still think there's some good deals out here. I think patience and perseverance is going to be my advice to folks. Like, hey, I know you want to get to Apex, but you're going to have to give us some time so we can work some things out. We're working with developers to try to provide them incentives and help them build more houses. I think that's the way with the density. But then once you do density, you have people complaining about now there's too many people on the streets and highways. So you think you're solving one problem, and then you create another. So that's kind of the balancing act in this role. But get back to your question, I don't have the true answer to the home pricing. Believe it or not, local government, they have just a smidget of influence on that. We don't have much. That's all controlled by many other variables.
Affordable housing is.
Sure.
Could that be a way to solve that problem as well?
100.
Maybe.
Yeah. In fact, we have an affordable housing plan. I actually initiated that back in 2021. We had a steer committee that worked on that for an entire year. And out of that plan, what I believe is the best is we identify really what is affordable housing. Okay, who does it help, right? And working with developers. Developers are not it shouldn't be an adversarial relationship. They need us, we need them. And teaming up with nonprofits and helping these developers create more affordable houses will be the way out. But it's one win at a time. It's not like we press a button and everything is solved. It's one win at a time. So we got many affordable housing units in the pipeline, some that have not even started construction yet, but they're on the way.
What type of policies are you mainly focused on going into 2025?
For me, it is about small business development and commercial, increasing our commercial tax base. And here's why. Right now, the ratio for Apex is about 80% residential and 20% non-residential. And when you look at that, it's got to be adjusted, because if you live in Apex, you're part of the 80%, we're a growing town, which brings more challenges, which means more capital projects. To get those done, it only takes money, right?
Yeah.
So the money has to come from what? Taxpayers.
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely.
So property taxes and increasing taxes as far as with our budget, and we don't want to keep doing that. If we can bring in more commercial, okay, that creates more of a tax revenue for us in a greater way, and then we can take a little bit more pressure off of the homeowners. So my goal for 25 is to attract more businesses and life sciences projects and things like that, and that'll help us with that ratio. And we got some things in the pipeline. Non-disclosure, can't talk about it, but they're on the way.
Like we actually in Apex right now at this studio in Apex. This whole district office over here. When you see thriving businesses over here in areas, what is that? How does that make you feel? Like just seeing all the businesses around Apex thriving.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. Like using this place for an example. So going to 25, mixed use development. So having residential, commercial, all within the same radius is our way forward, because that allows people to walk, trails. They can go get on a bike and get to these commercial spots and still be in their own community. So it makes me, growing up here, I love it. You know, people. It's only the people who moved here 5 years ago, they don't love it. So, so it's great to see.
Okay, we put you on the hot seat just a little bit.
Sure.
I don't want you to make anybody mad, but I just want your honest opinion. What's your go-to restaurant in Apex?
Oh man, you trying to get me kicked out of office? Man, I tell you, I love many restaurants here. Gosh, man, that's tough. I love being downtown Apex.
Yeah,
man,
such a
nice?
Beautiful, man. That's just the vibe night, man. If you've never had a chance to visit Apex, North Carolina, man, please, right outside of Raleigh, man, the main street, man, it's just so beautiful. It puts you in a small town feel, but it's just so beautiful, man. But
nice.
Yeah, back to the question.
Yeah, so I believe for me, oh my gosh, I gotta say it. Salem Street Pub is my go-to. Yeah, located right there. I do eat burgers. Okay. But I also love their Cobb salad. Okay. So it's really good. But then if I want the Southern cooking, I'm going down Highway 55 to Dallas, Famous Chicken and Biscuits. Have you ever been there yet?
I have. Yes.
So I gotta put them on the map. But again, Rudy's. I go to Rudy's a lot. I mean, it's just so many places like you cannot miss here when you choose a restaurant.
We can't leave out small black businesses here in Apex. How do you encourage them to stay here in this town?
Yeah. Well, again, one of our goals here when I got in office, the town of Apex didn't have a strategic plan. Can you believe that? And that was in 2019.
Wow.
So we went to work to create that, and we actually were able to, out of that plan, identify 5 strategic goals. One is a welcoming community. So our focus is to make sure that everyone feels like they belong here. And that's my message, okay, to the Black business owners. We need you here. We want the whole diversity to be who we are, the image. So with me being in the seat, I hope that is an influence, and is people like, okay, I can trust because there's someone there that I believe in that looks like me. I believe he has my best interest at heart. So
Yes.
that is my way to say, hey, yes, we need you here. And by the way, minority small business owners is our golden ticket to bring even more to our town. So we need you.
Yes.
We want you. And we want more of you. So please join us.
Join us. All right. Before just a couple rapid questions before I let you go. I heard that you said that you used to be a Dallas Cowboys fan,
Used to be.
but now you said that all Panthers.
Yeah.
How just as fans, how do you feel like the Panthers can make the next step into back to when Cam had it?
They need to bring back Cam Newton.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
I don't know, man. I mean, it was so much. Oh my God, it was so great to be a Panthers fan during that time.
Yeah.
I'll even go back before Cam, and I know people they're gonna really come after me on this. But when Jake Delhomme was taking the snaps, of course it wasn't all him. We had Steve Smith.
Yes.
Throw it up. He's gonna get it. Man, they're gonna have to bring in someone with that caliber that's gonna energize, the entire North Carolina region.
Yes.
And then we can start moving again. But I don't know who that is. I wish it could be Shador Sanders, but I know that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because then we get Dion with it.
Yeah. Right.
Coach Prime. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. NBA playoff prediction. Who you rolling with? Who in the playoffs?
Hey, you can have the Phoenix Suns, Capri Sun. The sun done set. Lakers at 5. Lakers at 5.
Lakers at 5.
I got to go with. I mean, I love him. Of course, you either love or hate him.
Yeah.
But he's the man.
He's a man.
LeBron is the man.
But MJ's the GOAT. Come on now.
MJ is the GOAT. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my time. Yeah,
Yeah.
MJ is the GOAT.
Yeah.
But LeBron is the man.
Yeah, LeBron's the man.
Yes, sir.
Same age. We class 2003, both 40 years old.
Okay.
And still kicking. So
I love it. So
yeah.
you say you got a game like LeBron? Is that what you're saying?
Whoa! Oh no! Oh no! I mean, I was nice though, Jacques.
For real?
I was nice. Nice. You know, people gonna watch this and say, "Yeah, Kayvon was nice." I was actually the opposite. Like, I got cut a few times, and I didn't make the team until like my senior year in high school. So
Okay.
I didn't finish anything, but I didn't actually to my senior year in high school. That's when I actually made the team. So yeah, but what's crazy was I got really good post high school. Really.
Why does that happen? It's like, can I share something real quick?
Oh man.
So post high school, I didn't set this up before. My senior year in high school, I was actually 5'9" and weighed 98 pounds.
Wow.
As soon as I graduated, I shot up.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here we are.
I graduated high school, man, and I moved to Greensboro, and man, those guys were so good. It was so
sir.
good, and man, and their game just trickled down to me, and man, I just got really good, man. I was like, and people would say to me, man, I know you was the man where you was from, and all this other stuff. I'm like, man, I don't know. It's just all starting to, come to me, man. So basketball was definitely my love, and man, I'm definitely rolling with the Lakers too. I think this is the first time where in LeBron's entire career that he gets to be Robin. He gets to take the back seat. He's not the best player on his team, so which is kind of scary.
Which is scary. And who is
Very
the best
scary.
player, would you say?
It's definitely Luka.
Luka, absolutely. Yeah, they got something over there in LA.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was born in New York.
Okay.
So I'm rolling with the Knicks too. We
y'all heard it, the Knicks.
We're rolling with the Knicks too. I'm a little scared though, but we're rolling with the Knicks
Okay,
too.
I
Yeah.
can deal with that. I can rock with that.
Yeah. We here in the Carolinas, we got to show a lot of love to the Hurricanes. I've
That's
seen
right.
you at the game, and what's that thing y'all do when at the beginning of the game where they like
Oh, when they turn the
yeah
so I
they
haven't
turn
been
the
able to
thing.
do that yet.
Okay,
Now,
okay.
now when we had our ribbon cutting, okay, just a few months ago, or less than a month ago actually,
Mm-hmm.
I actually told the president, I said, I need to do it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
he was like, guarantee we're gonna get you up there. So
Yeah.
I'll let you know
Okay.
when that time comes. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. What would you like to leave the people with? What do you want your legacy to be remembered when it's all said and done, and when your name's on a plaque somewhere here in Apex? What do you want to leave the people with as your legacy
Oh,
as the mayor of Apex?
So there are two quotes that I really love to share, and one is by Benjamin Franklin, and it says, "Well done is better than well said." Okay, so you can talk about, hey, I'm going to do this, or I would like to do this, but until you take steps to do it, it's nothing. So well done, hey, we did it, and we did it together. So I want people to know doing it together is the best way, and taking steps to accomplish something. The other quote is this from the late General Colin Powell. It says, "Perpetual optimism is a force multiplier." So perpetual optimism is a force multiplier. I'm always about being optimistic of what the future is, okay? Even what the present is. Like, it may look like the worst situation, but I'm telling you, we can take something from it and really allow ourselves to get some momentum from it and still accomplish great things. So that's why I want people to say, he did that.
Wow. As a young black man, and I'm just being as frank as possible, I just seen somebody that looked like me, and I just was like, I just reached out like, man, like I have to speak to him.
Thank you.
You know, it's just like that. How important is it to continue to break these barriers that they keep putting up, and that you know that people like us continue to be inspired by people that look like us to do these type of things.
Yeah, it's very important. It's imperative because we all, as humans, we put our eyes on someone or people, and it inspires us. We say, hey, I can do that, or I want to do that. So what you're doing with this, man, it's no telling how many eyes are on you. So I encourage you like to keep going, because I know people are watching, and it's powerful. You're helping someone. You may not see them, but you're helping them.
Wow.
And to your point, when we see someone who we think, hey, I have a connection with them, whether it's by the way they look, or it's who they're affiliated with, or whatever,
Yeah.
it's our time to shine and influence that next person. And we all were placed here, we were sent here on this earth to help someone or many people. So take your position, take your assignment, no matter what the odds are, go for it.
Final question.
Yes.
If you was if you could bring 4 dinner guests, dead or alive, who would that be? They ain't got to be famous. They ain't got to
Sure.
be anything. Just 4 dinner guests.
Right. If it's like we having dinner tonight, 4
Yeah,
dinner guests.
4
Okay.
dinner guests.
All right.
Dead or alive.
Dead or alive. Okay. I'm bringing my dad, who's alive. My dad taught me work ethic, and my dad also taught me how to come back from challenges, and he taught me the power of forgiveness. Okay, so he's going to be there. And then my granddad, my mother's dad, he was always just full of joy. You know, he lived to be 78, but he always had the energy and joy. Everybody loved him, and he was also an encourager to me. Like, you know, Jacques, you're the man. Keep, you know, do your thing, do your thing. He loves his grandson, so he would be there. I'm bringing, for sure, Dr. King.
Wow.
I'm bringing Dr. King.
Wow.
Yeah, because he's going to tell me more ways to, man, I can't even imagine the force that was against him
Wow.
during
Right.
that time. And
Right.
he still said, I got to go.
I gotta go.
I got to go do it. Bringing him and then I'm bringing my man, President Barack Obama.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. So
Absolutely.
they're going to be there.
Yes, sir. Jacques, I truly, truly thank you for your time, for being a man of your word and
Yes,
sitting
sir.
down. I've been chasing you down for I've been chasing you down for a couple of months.
Yes,
So,
sir.
man, I thank you so much, man.
Sure.
Jacques, man.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so
Sorry
much.
it took so long, but here we
no,
are.
man,
Yes, sir.
we here, man.
Yes,
we
sir.
here, man. Thank y'all again for watching Best Conversations podcast, a deeper conversation, which we call this segment. Make sure y'all continue to support. Make sure y'all come visit Apex. Come see Jacques. And we thank y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And also make sure y'all keep God first. And I promise everything else will work itself out. K-Von.
Peace.
Thank you.
All right, good job, man.
Man, thank you, thank you,
All right.
man.
Yes,
This
sir.
was great.
Yeah,
This was
no,
great.
I loved it. Good
This was
questions
great.
for sure, man.
This was
Yeah.
great, man. Man, you just inspired me so much, man. I'm like, damn, man, this is
Hey,
so
you're
cool,
doing the
man.
same, man. Keep it moving for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. We can get one with us sitting down, and then also of us standing up as well.
Okay.